Hi! It's good to see y'all again. I literally just finished up on a different video on Forsaken with my brother. Go check that out, why don't y'all? Might not be that good. But I've been wanting to tell y'all, I have been playing ALS. I very much have been. And y'all like the drip? Yeah, I know y'all do. So I've been grinding. I'm going to be showcasing You're a Hunter Cosmic and Heavenly Chad. They're both boosted. I am going to work on getting, where is he? Bayron mode Naruto. And then I'm going to also boost my Gerono. And then showcase him and him all in the next video. Okay? So I will showcase all of that to y'all. I'll try, can't be tomorrow. I'll try to get it out Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. Most likely Thursday, Wednesday, or the weekend, because I have school. And, yeah. So, I'm going to showcase these. Sorry I have not been posting. And I have been betraying my word, saying that I would post more. So, I'm sorry for that. But now it's time for me to off rip 8 mil. Place. I'll just place Brawley back here. So, let's turn it down 1x. So, his stand does a bunch of barrages. Let's read this. Reality Overwrite. When attacking an enemy with 4 different status effects, permanently mark it with Overwrite. If Ancient Vampire over Heaven is in range, remove the requirement to mark enemies with Overwrite. Ooh, that's kind of good. Well, wait, what does Overwrite do? Dang! When a crit is missed, gain 5% crit chance permanently until 100%. At 100% crit chance, gain 1% crit for 1% crit damage per crit up to 200%. Once attack caps, each manipulation's attack perform 2 affected instead of 1. Wait, that's so OP. Divine Rivals. If Ancient Vampire over Heaven is in range, unlock. Both units receive 75% damage. AoE set to full. Every 3 to 7 Heavenly Chad attacks. Stun. AV over Heaven. Heavenly Chad SVA 1.5 times. And 3 attacks Heavenly Chad damage times Heavenly Chad SVA 1.5. Every 3 to second Dio over Heaven attacks. Stun Heavenly Chad for Dio's SPA times 2 and time stop all enemies and for Dio's SPA times 2. Wait, that's actually really OP when you think about it. So let's turn this up. And new passive. Manipulations. Upon attacking an enemy with Overwrite, cycle 1 of every effect every 3 attacks. Soul. 50% max HP damage. Cap of 1 trillion. Biological. Set to neutral for 45 seconds. Takes 200% damage from all elements. Dang! Deal 5x damage to all enemies in range. Power. Time stop all enemies in range for 5 seconds. Healing. Cleanse debuffs of all the units in range. If Ancient Vampire over Heaven is in range, cycles 3 attacks regardless of requirements. Oh snap, that's kind of good. Okay, next attack, barrage. Let's set this down to 1x. So... Oh, his stand goes forward and does, like, a better barrage, I guess. And then... How much is it? 700. I mean, he's not expensive, but he's not cheap either. God, this is gonna waste so much money. Here. Okay, we're gonna concert. 2 billion damage. 100% crit chance. And 2... Not even, it's still going up. 3.97. Over half a million DPS. Yo. That is OP. That is very... Okay, concert buffs off. Power. Concert. Oh. Alright. Existent erasure nuke. Upon activation, instantly kill all enemies marked with overwrite. Bosses instead take 50% of their max HP as damage. Upon activate, Heavenly Domain. Upon activation, time stop the entire map for 45 seconds. Enemies are inflicted with overwrite. Extend the time stop duration to 90 seconds. If Ancient Vampire over Heaven is in range, add 10 seconds to the time stop duration. Put over Heaven special on 11-second cooldown. Alright, that's everything for him. Let's turn this down on 1x speed real fast. And to max out, he costs 1 million. Now it's time for Garou. He has the same attacks regardless of anything. But... Fusion God. Obtained on placement. This unit's SVA cannot be buffed externally. Any external SVA buffs turn into equal damage and crit damage buffs. This damage cannot be buffed externally. Any damage buffs equally turn into crit chance buffs. This crit chance is at 100%. Extra crit chance is converted into range and crit damage. Godlike eradication. Every 20 attacks, crit counts as 2. 350% damage. 150% SPA. 100% crit chance for 2 attacks. First attack applies detonation and bolt. Second attack applies rupture and unstable. If an enemy has entered radiation dead zone, these attacks will always hit the enemy if they are out of range. Right? He cost $1.2 million to max out. Holy... Oh, he has plasma. Holy damage! Okay, Gamma Burst. Requires upgrade 5. Whenever a boss enemy enters this unit's range, this includes whenever interdimensional travel activates. Apply 50x damage to this unit's damage. Apply plasma, extinguish, unstable, negation, detonation off this multiplier. Plasma does 3x damage instead of 1.55x to this boss permanently. Godlike eradication, seeing that. Radiation requires upgrade 3. Upon entering unit's range, deal 25% of this unit's damage every second. Radiation death zone. Upon entering 20% of this unit's range, deal 65% of this unit's damage every second. Any debuffs to this enemy are 50% more effective. Shikai modes. Gravity. Time to read even more. God, Gamma Burst. Interdimension travel. Holy. Requires imitation gravity from the activation Shikai modes. Whenever a boss enemy is outside of this unit's range, teleport to the closest position to that boss. Boss receives walk back for 10 seconds after boss is dead. After boss is dead, return to the original position. This passive can happen as many times as possible, but only affects one boss at a time. If multiple bosses are alive, target the one closest to the base. Portal creation. It sends enemies backwards, basically. And it works 10 times. I'll be right back, guys. Hold on. I'm almost finished. No, the message popped up and then I heard. How much time do you need? Like 5 minutes. I'm recording. Alright, guys, I'm back. And then. Buffs damage tenfold, basically. Martial arts. Whirlwind slashing steel requires imitation martial arts. Upon landing a crit, follow up with 50% damage to all enemies in range. The strongest enemy in range deals 150% damage instead of 0.5. Wait, strongest enemy in range deal 150% damage instead. Deal 0.5 max HP as damage, cap of 300 billion. Applies mutilate on the multiplier of both instance of damage combined with local. Watchdog requires imitation martial arts. Every 100 seconds, 200% range, 35% damage for 3 attacks. Set to AoE and live for 3 attacks. Crits happen during this mode will apply on effect depending on which attack is hit. First attack crippled, second attack weakened, third attack exposed, and restrict. And the last one. Oh, you still get the abilities, by the way, and this is what the portal looks like. And then the last Shikai mode. Try to place him out of... Bald man. Come on, click. If Baldy Deathly Serious... Hold on, is that in his range? Oh, God. Yo. Oh, it's buff stack, I guess. Oh my god, the lag. Baldy Deathly Serious and Arrow Hunter Cosmic will always have the same base damage and base HP. Prioritize the unit with the highest base damage between the two. The unit with the highest damage will transfer their damage and SPA to the other, overriding the base damage and base HP. They will always be the same no matter what. I think that's it. And then next. Consecutive normal punches. 100-second duration. Minus 65% SPA, minus 35% damage. Line OE. For every crit, 3% damage, crit chance. Permanent for this duration. Every 10 crits, deal 500% damage in full AoE. Punch Series requires imitation bald man upon activation. Set AoE cone to 1 attack. 5,000 damage for 1 attack. Enemies will take 50% more damage from all sources from this unit. This cannot be set to none. Targeting this debuff ends. Like, how do we activate all of the... Yo. I'm taking a screenshot. Yo. Yo.